Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. Hello ma'am. Let me introduce myself. My name is Manda Kafiani. And my house number is 096 and I'm from class of 4B. And now I will read you about the nature of teaching and learning. The teacher I chose to review. I decided to review Naila Farhana because she's an English teacher on YouTube and Instagram, and honestly, I've been learning a lot from her. And whenever I'm confused about grammar or vocabulary, I turn to her videos because they explain everything so clearly. I really like her teaching style. It's calm, well structured, and even though kinds of traditional, it still worked really well for me. And she was also a big help when I wanted to start learning English back in high school, as she provides explanations that were easy to understand and really useful for building my English foundation. Next slide. Okay, on this slide is about her teaching style. Naila Farhana's teaching style is a pretty traditional and good teacher. She explains things step by step, usually with a digital whiteboard or slide like a PowerPoint, and she starts from the basic concepts. They give example and sometimes adds a quick exercise. She doesn't interact with the student directly since it's a video, but the way she teaches make it easy to follow, like being in a real class. And she also repeat the important, which helped me remember better. Okay, on the next slide. What I've learned from Nail Farhana's, I've learned so many useful things from watching Naila Farhana's video. One of the biggest things is how to understand grammar more easily, like how tenses actually work in a real situation, or the differences between similar words like say and tell, which use to confuse me a lot. She doesn't just give the rules, she explains why the rules matter and when to use them. I also pick up some great tips for speaking more naturally and reading more clearly. She gives advice like how to not overthink grammar when speaking and how to sound more if confident. And from watching her, I've also realized that being a good teacher isn't about knowing the subject, but also about knowing how to make it clear, simple, and even fun for students. Next slide. Why I do as a teacher? If I become a teacher one day, I definitely try to teach in a clear and structured way like Naila Farhana, and I want my students to feel like they understand the why behind every lesson, not just memorize the rules. I also make sure to connect the material to real life because when students can relate it something they know, it's much easier to understand. Besides that, I repeat the key point a few times throughout the lesson to have it stick, and I add short practice activities uh, when to bring a when to bring a friendly vibe to class so students feel comfortable asking questions and making mistakes, just like how Naila teaches with a calm and positive tone. I try to do the same too. And the next step is about pros and cons. Pros and cons. First, I will explain the pros. One of the biggest advantages of Naila's teaching style is how clear her explanations are. Even though I don't use a textbook, I can still understand the material just by watching her videos. Whenever she explains grammar rules or language concepts, she doesn't just give you the formula but also explain why the rules exist and when to use it to real life situation. And this helped me not just memorize things but actually understand why these rules work the way they do. And additionally, her calm and teaching style makes me feel more comfortable when learning, and as I don't feel rushed and can follow along on my own pace, the explanations he uses are often directly related to everyday life, which made it easier to remember and apply what I've learned in conversation or writing. And the next it counts. However, there are some drawbacks as well, since the reason or the deliberate videos, there are no direct interaction between the teacher and the student. If I don't understand something or have a question, I can ask her immediately for classification, and sometimes I have to rewatch the videos a few times to fully understand the topic, which can take extra time. And also, while her explanation are clear, sometimes the material is covered too quickly, especially with harder topic. I feel like the I feel like there are moments when I need more time to process or practice before moving on the next topic. That said, I still find her teaching very helpful, but I think it will be even better uh, if there was more room for discussion or Q&A to make it more interactive. Teaching approach. Some of the good things about her teaching are it's super clear, well structured, and easy to understand even without a textbook. And she explains the why, not just the what. I also like how she gives real life example and speak in calm, friendly, why it makes learning feel more comfortable. And the other hand, since it's video, there's no interaction. You can ask questions right away, and sometimes the reason feel a bit too fast or short, and especially with harder topic. But overall, I really like her teaching style, and she helped me become more confident in English learning. Conclusion. In conclusion, I believe Naila Farhan's teaching style is really effective. Why? Because especially for learners like me, even though her method is quite traditional, it's clear, well structured, and easy to follow. She explains not just the rules but also the reason behind them, and which help me understand better. While the lack of interaction and video listen can be a downside, and sometimes the listen feel a bit short or too fast, overall they've been um, really helpful. And if I become a teacher one day, I like to use similar clear and structured approach like her, but with more interaction to make learning more engaging and fun.